around you now.
What's up guys, Magic Matrix here with another video, and today I've got a really cool card trick to show you. As you can see here on the table, I have two piles of cards. This is pile number 1 and this is pile number 2. What I need you to do today is select one card from each pile. So starting with this pile right here, I'll just dribble down the cards and say stop whenever you like. Stop here. That will be your first selection. And the same with the second, just say stop. Stop here. That will be your second selection. Now from this point of the trick until the very end, I would not be looking at anything the spectator is doing, but since I'm here by myself, I will be acting like the spectator. I promise guys, I am not looking at the cards and I'm not manipulating the deck in any way. So what I'd be doing is I'd turn my head, the spectator would look at the two cards. So I'll flip them over right here. I will not look at them. You can see those cards right there, please remember them. The spectator would then flip them back over like this. And with my head still turned, I would give them these instructions. Cut some cards from pile number 2. Take their first selection and lose it in the middle. And then cut some cards from pile number 1. Take their second selection and lose it in the middle of that pile. Now they could shuffle up both piles as much as they wanted, just like this, to make sure their cards are really lost and that I have no idea where they are. Now the piles have been shuffled, I would turn back around. I would not have seen anything that had happened in a normal performance. Now I would attempt to find the two selections. So starting with the first pile, I'll go through here, and it's a tough decision, but I think I'm gonna go with this card right here. And for the second selection, I think I'll have to go with this. Let's go with this one. Alright, so now I've chosen the two cards that I think are your selections. So let's recap. There were two piles of cards. You chose one card from each pile. You placed the cards in opposite piles, you shuffled the piles, and this was all done while my back was turned. Then I went through and I attempted to find the cards, and correct me if I'm wrong guys, but I think that your two selections were the Ace of Hearts and the 4 of Spades. That is the trick guys. If you want to learn it, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright, here's the tutorial for this trick. Super easy, really simple setup. This is how you perform it. As you can see on the table, I have the cards separated in red and black. So go ahead, pause the video, do the same with your deck, separate the red cards from the black cards. Now that you separated the cards, go ahead, just square up the piles and place them side by side on the table. Now it doesn't matter if you have all the black cards on the left side and the red cards on the right side, or vice versa. Just make sure that they're completely separated into different colored piles. Now for this trick, you could have two spectators. If you're not confident that your one spectator can remember two cards, go ahead and use 2. But if you feel that one spectator can memorize both cards, that also works. It doesn't really matter for this trick, either scenario will do, but we'll say for now that we're using one spectator. So what you would do is go up to your spectator and tell them to pick one card from each pile. You could spread the cards like this, you could fan the cards out like that, or you could just dribble the cards, which is what I do. So just dribble the cards like that, let them pick one card, and dribble again, let them pick another card, and from here you would have your head turned for the remainder of this trick. So you tell the spectator to flip over their two cards and look at them. They can see the 7 of clubs and the 9 of hearts. you have them flip them back face down, and then you give them these instructions while your back is still turned. Cut some cards from the second pile, place them to the side, take your first selection, and lose it in the middle. And then the same with the first pile, cut some cards, place them to the side, place your second selection in, and lose it in the middle. Your back is still turned. You tell them to shuffle both piles as much as they want until they are sure that the cards are completely mixed up and you could have no idea where their two cards are in the piles. At this point, you would turn back around and tell them that you are going to locate their cards. And it's going to be really easy. This is why. You'll remember that we had the black cards on this side and we had the red cards on this side. So when they picked the black card, it went here, and when they picked the red card, it went here. So you had them put their first selection in the second pile, which means they placed a black card in the red, and you had them place their second selection in the first pile, which means you had them place a red card in the black. So if we spread through here, you'll see that there's one red card in all the black cards, and there is one black card in all the red cards. So they've shuffled up the decks as much as they wanted to. They think you have no way of finding their cards, and all you have to do is start with the first half. You go through to yourself. Don't let them see that you have a completely black pile, because if you flash that you have all these black cards, they'll be able to figure out how you did the trick. So just make sure you keep it to yourself like this. Go through, you locate that red card, in this case the Nine of Hearts. You act like you're trying to figure out which card is theirs, and then you pull out their selection and place it on the table. Again, don't flash that you have a completely black deck. If you flash a couple cards, not the end of the world, but if they see the whole thing, the trick will be ruined. So again, take up the second pile, don't flash that you have all these red cards, you locate their other selection, the only black card, act like you're trying to figure out which card is theirs, and then you can pull it out and place it on the table, just like this. Now at this point, you can end the trick completely clean. Because if you finished up this trick, the spectators might want to look at the two piles, and you have to tell them that they can't, because obviously they'd see that it's all black, and over here it's all red. So what you do is you tell them that you're going to recap. And while you do that, you pick up the two piles, and you just do a normal riffle shuffle like this, and you tell them that they picked two random cards from wherever they wanted, and you spread the deck out on the table. And now you can see the cards have been mixed back up into red and black. So now the trick ends clean, because they won't know that you had the cards separated into just red and just black. So you tell them to pick two random cards, they put them into opposite piles, they shuffled the cards. This was all done while your back was turned and you saw nothing, but you still attempted to find their cards. And then you flip them over and show them that you got their two selections. That is the trick, guys. It's really easy, requires very little practice to perform. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.